Jungkook and Vine are cousins and the only enemies in the family who can't bear to see each other's faces. If they're alone somewhere, then that place becomes the origin of World War. But they can't live without fighting each other every day, too. They didn't know something that was decided right when they were born. Their parents engaged Vine and Jungkook with each other, and today was the day when they told them about it. They both obviously shouted at their parents, cursed them, and at last refused them. But they sent them on a date forcefully, saying that they should try things out, because according to her mother, Jungkook is the most innocent and righteous person in the world, and Jungkook's mother thinks the same about Vine, but only they know the reality of each other. That's why they forcefully arranged a date. Vine was sitting at the table, reserved by her parents. Her foot was continuously tapping on the floor as she was praying for him to never come here. But he showed up after a few minutes. Vine's anxiety faded into anger as soon as she saw him. She stood up and shouted, "What are you doing here? You always talk big in front of me, and you couldn't even refuse your parents?" Everyone looked at her, including him. They were staring at her as if staring at a clown. Vine noticed and sighed. She then sat on her chair in embarrassment. "Vine, all of him is just made to embarrass me," she said in a low, angry tone. Jungkook whispered, "Do I have to sit with her?" He sighed in embarrassment and sat. "Jungkook, why do I have to go through this embarrassment?" he said to himself, but loud enough for her to listen. Vine's mouth widened. "Excuse me? I'm the one who's suffering because I have to sit together with you. And also," she put a hand on her nose and said, "You smell. Did you fell in a gutter or on your way?" Jungkook's eyes widened as he smelled himself, but there was nothing except his own smell. Jungkook frowned. "How dare you? Did you ever smell yourself? It's like a dead body which has been rotting for like a year or two." "Fine. What did you say?" "Jungkook, now your ears are also dead. I was right, that means. You're like a dead body." Vine stared at him angrily, wanting to kill him at the moment. Her fists tightened and she snatched his hair, making him scream. "Jungkook, leave it. It's the final warning." She snatched it harder. Jungkook screamed in pain and then started snatching her hair too, because of which she started screaming. The bar's manager came and he tried to stop them. "Vine, ask him to leave me first." "Jungkook, why should I? She was the one who started. She should leave first." The manager tried his best to convince them, but they didn't agree and kept screaming, making the other people leave the bar. Then they were kicked out. "Fine. It's all because of you." "Jungkook, me? I wish I was allowed to kill one person. Only one." "Fine. As if you have the guts to kill me. You will be the first one to get killed if there was such a rule." Jungkook's eyes widened. "You wanna try me? Let me prove it by killing you today." "Fine. No way I'm marrying someone like him." She shouted at her mother when she asked Vine about why does she look like that. Because her hair were a mess and her mascara was all spread around across her face. And it was all done by Jungkook. And as expected, Jungkook was in worse condition. But she left that part out. Vine's mom. "It's enough, Vine. I know it's because of it's one of your pranks. I know Jungkook is not that kind of boy." She tried to act like she was crying as she asked, "You believe Jungkook more than me?" "Yes," her mother replied with a straight face, making Vine shut up. "Fine, fine. Then you ask him about what he wants. If he agrees, I will marry him without any second thoughts." Vine's mom. "You sure?" Vine. "I promise." Vine's mother nodded and called Jungkook's number while putting the phone on speaker. Vine's mom. "Hey Jungkook, how are you?" Jungkook. "Oh, hello, I'm good. How about you?" He asked in a good manner, making Vine cringe because he never did that in front of her. Vine's mom. "I'm really sorry, son. I know Vine must be harsh on your date. Please forgive her for me." "Mom," Vine whispered, but her mother gestured her to keep quiet. Jungkook. "No, no, it's my fault too. I want to apologize to her as well. I know it must be rude, but can you arrange another date for us?" Vine's eyes widened and she shouted, "What the hell are you saying?" Jungkook. "Vine, are you listening? I know you are upset, but I want to apologize. So can you go to another date with me?" Vine. "Not even in dreams." Vine's mom. "Of course, Jungkook, she will come. She asked me to call you to ask the same thing." Vine. "What are you saying, Mom?" Vine's mom. "I hope you will take care of yourself. You can send me the time and place, and I will send her tomorrow." Jungkook. "Thank you so much," he said, and her mother cut the call. Vine. "Why did you lie, Mom?" Vine's mom. "Who is the one lying here, Vine? I've heard enough. He's such a good boy. I'm not marrying you to anyone else than him." Jungkook. "I did as you said. Now can you put the knife away from my neck, Mom?" His mother nodded, putting the knife on the table. Jungkook sighed. She patted his hair and said, "That's like a good boy." Jungkook. "Date? She's gonna kill me for this on the same very date." Jungkook snatched his own hair in frustration. Jungkook. "Why can't she just leave me alone?" Vine sat on the table once again, at a different place this time, but the anger was the same. Her foot continuously tapped on the floor while waiting for him, just like before. But the reaction was different when he entered this time. She picked up the knife from the table and clenched it hard after seeing him. Jungkook took a step back after seeing her, even though he was a foot away from her, and he nervously said from his place, I know, but hear me out once." "Fine. You have already dug your grave by coming here." Jungkook. "Fine. If we do this, we will be kicked out again. Just listen to me for once." "Fine. Kicked out? That's what I want." She took the knife and ran towards him, making Jungkook run outside the restaurant. He ran for his life, but he stopped suddenly. He stopped when he saw Vine's mother right outside the restaurant, who was about to leave. She came actually to drop Vine here. Vine's mom. "Oh, Jungkook, where are you going?" Vine stopped when she heard her mother and quickly hid the knife behind her. Jungkook. I didn't see you when I entered, but I saw you from the window, so I ran out to greet you." He bowed and said, "How are you?" Vine's mother smiled widely. "You're such a good boy for Vine. I indeed made the right choice." "I'm fine. Please take care of Vine." Jungkook. Of course. Then we will be going. You should go too." Vine's mom. "Oh, yes, yes. I can't disturb you guys. Bye then." Jungkook was waiting for her to leave, but she didn't because she was making sure that Jungkook and Wine went inside. Jungkook had no choice at the end to get back inside. He swallowed and turned back. Sitting on the table nervously, he smiled at her, but she gave him a death glare as she squeezed the knife on the plate. Jungkook, I have a plan, he said in a hurry. Wine. Choose your words wisely, as they might be your last ones. To be continued.